Hey, hello YouTube, man. How you guys doing today? It is me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I am at this truck stop here in where the hell am I at? Pearland. That's where I'm at. Sorry, it took me a second. I'm trying to get back here where maybe I got a little bit better lighting. Oh, there we go. See if we can get back here where I got a little bit better lighting while I do this little quick update video. Anyway, I'm in Pearland, which for those of you that don't know anything about Pearland, I am in it's Houston, all right, the South Houston area. So I got dispatched from Weatherford to go to Dallas to pick up a load in Dallas and deliver here in Houston, and then picked up a load in Pearland, which was about 30 miles away, that I am going to be taking up to Chicago. All right. I'll be taking that load out. Well, I'm already loaded, so I'll be taking that load out in the morning. But I had I guess a bit of an event. I did my pre-trip this morning. Everything was good. I hit the road. I made it 22 miles down the road, blew a drive tire. Cost me a considerable amount of money to get it fixed. And I'm not happy about that at all. I mean, I know I need to replace the tires. I'm running all 8 recaps, and and that's bad enough. But then, they've got good tread on them, but they're still recaps, and they're cheap tires to begin with. Except the one that blew was a Bridgestone, so I mean it wasn't cheap. But anyway, I had to call road service out to come out and replace the tire, and so it cost me a pretty penny. Enough money that it put me in the hole on this particular run. Now, if I was basing everything off of one individual run, then I would be in pretty bad shape right now. But that's not what I'm basing everything on. What I'm basing everything on is my weekly average. Now, a lot of people may not agree with that, but that's what I'm basing it on. Now, with that said, this payroll cutoff is on Sunday. So this is the only run that I've got on this payroll. So, this one's going to put me in the hole. Now, I paid that out of pocket, out of my bank account, out of my maintenance fund. I paid that out of pocket. So, I didn't borrow money. I'm not getting a negative paycheck. I'm getting a paycheck, and the paycheck just isn't going to cover what I have spent. So I've got this next load that I'm picking up, or that I picked up in Pearland, and I'm taking it to Chicago, and it's a fairly unique load. When I got my CDL, I decided that I was going to get all the endorsements that didn't require anything special. Like, I did not get hazmat, but I got tanker, I got doubles and triples. And my reasoning for it was that I didn't know what I would be doing, in the long term. I knew that I was not going to be at Millis forever, because, my goal was then and is still now today to be an owner-operator. And so I knew that I wasn't going to stay with Millis. I didn't know what I was going to do when I left, and I didn't know what opportunities that I might have. So I didn't know what I would need. So I went ahead and I got doubles and triples, and I got my tanker endorsement. Now, I don't really have any desire to haul doubles and triples, and and I'm not going to go get a hazmat. It's just too much of a pain in the ass to deal with it. So, I really kind of thought that having a tanker endorsement was going to be a waste of time. Well, as it turns out, when you haul bulk liquid, And I'm not talking about, loads of beer or sodas, or those are liquids, but they're in individual cans. I'm talking about bulk liquid, and these are about 1,500 pounds worth of liquid per container. In order to haul that, even in a dry van, you have to have a tanker endorsement. Okay, well, I didn't know that. So they asked me while I was at Triple C what endorsements I had, and she told me then that there may come a time when I need a tanker endorsement because they haul some bulk liquids, and it's required to have a tanker endorsement. So I was like, cool. Well, anyway, that just happens to be the second load that I get, and so I went to this place, and and I got loaded up, and now I'm headed to Chicago, and it's a decent paying load, especially for dry van. It's a decent paying load. So this one here, provided nothing else happens, is going to start my week. I deliver Monday, and our payroll cutoff is Sunday. So I'm going to start my week with a pretty good paying load, and still have the whole week to build on that. So hopefully this coming week makes up for the tire, and and turns out to be all that I'm hoping that it's going to be. And I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, my mom lives in Pearland. My mom and my dad, they live in Pearland. Not Sugarland, Fresno. Fresno is right south of Pearland. So it's all that same area. Fresno, Pearland, Sugarland. It's all the same area of Houston. So I came down here and I found this truck stop. By the way, Houston absolutely sucks for truck stops. A lot of you guys probably already know that. I don't run this area, when I was running for Millis, I came to Houston one time. And the whole time I was with Millis, I came here one time. So I didn't realize, fourth largest city in the United States has the worst collection of truck stops you can imagine. I would have never, ever guessed. I would have thought there would have been truck stops everywhere in this city. I mean, shit, we got the ship channel here, we've got, the Gulf of Mexico here, we've got freight coming in from everywhere here in the Houston area. It's just a hotbed for freight. There's trucks all over the damn place, and not shit for truck stops. It doesn't make any damn sense. So I found this place, and it's kind of a hole in the wall. It's the 288 truck stop, I think is the name of it. It's a hole in the wall place owned by some foreigners. I don't know any specifics about the foreigners. It's a pay to park, $10 a night. Pothole ridden dirt lot, it is what it is. I ain't gonna do too much bitching about it. I'm here. My $10 parking is tax deductible. So somewhere down the line, hopefully that'll hopefully it'll pay off and give me my money back. And I got to see my mom, which to me is, fuck, paying $10 for parking to go see my mom. Shit, I'll do that any day of the week. So I paid $10 to park, got to go see my mom, got to see my dad, and went out to dinner with them. We went out and ate Razoo's. One of my favorite places to eat, actually. So we went out there, had a good time, talked about what I'm doing, talked about what they're doing, and tomorrow I hit the road again. Well, I had a minor problem. When I blew the tire, it threw a tread, and when it threw the tread, it obviously got picked up by the rear tandems on the trailer, and it tore one of the mud flaps off. Well, when it tore one of the mud flaps off, it also bent the rail the mud flap is on. So now I've got to go somewhere tomorrow and get that shit fixed. I don't know where I've got a Love's stopped. I was going to leave out at 3 o'clock in the morning. But this Love's is only an hour or so away from here. If I leave out at 3 o'clock in the morning, then it's just not going to work. You know, I mean, somebody's got to pay for this repair work, and you know, that's going to be the company that pays for it. And you know, they're not going to be there at that time of night, so I'm going to have to leave a little bit later. I'll probably leave 5 or 6 o'clock. Go there, get the repair work done. Maybe by the time they got the repair work done, everybody will be there. I can get it paid for, because I don't have to pay for anything on the trailer. Part of the life of an owner-operator, you know. I just hope nothing else goes wrong, you know, while I'm going. I've learned a lot about the truck in just the last couple of days, and honestly, I've looked like a dumbass. Honestly, if I was watching, I would probably say I was a dumbass, right? What happened? You know, I've been used to driving all these new trucks, all right? And, you know, my last truck was a 2014 Kenworth T680. So I've gone from a 2014 down to this 1997. I like my 97 better. Doesn't mean that I'm accustomed to it. You know, I'm accustomed to the T680, the 2014, and all the amenities that the 2014 had with it. Learning to shift a Super 10 has been a real eye-opener. I'm getting a lot better at it, you know, but I still screw up. And, you know, where I'll screw up at is when I go from 6th gear to 7th gear, all right? No, when I go from 5th gear to 6th gear. Okay, because each gear, each shifting position is split on a Super 10. And I'm so used to driving the 2014. I will, you know, you split each gear, or each shifting position you split. But for some reason, and I can't figure out why my brain won't make the connection, when I shift into 5th gear, alright, when I go to shift into 6th gear, instead of splitting the gear like I did, well, I start out either in 2nd if I'm heavy or 3rd if I'm not. But instead of splitting the gear like I would, say, for 3rd or 4th, when I shift into 5th gear and then I go to split the gear to shift into 6th, instead of splitting the gear, I kick it on the high side like I would normally split, and then I try to put it into the 7th gear position. Oh shit, this is confusing. The 7th gear position, which on a standard 10 speed is the 9th gear position, or the 4th gear position, depending on whether you're high or low speed. All right. Anyway, and so I'm jumping gears, and it's not good for the transmission. It makes me look like an idiot. It makes me look like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and honestly, it's annoying. But I am getting better at it. I'm getting better with it, and hopefully, within the next day or so, I don't do that crap anymore, because I don't like it. All right. Second issue that I had, and this one really made me feel like a dumbass. On the 680, the 2014, the trolley brake is spring loaded. Okay, so when you pull on the trolley brake, to slide your tandems, which is how I do it. All right, when you pull on the trolley brake to slide your tandems, when you let go of the trolley brake, it slides right back into position. The trolley brake on a 97 Kenworth is not spring loaded. You pull the trolley brake and it stays in whatever position that you leave it in. All right, so when I go to slide the tandems in this truck, twice now I've done this. When I go to slide the tandems, or when I go to slide the fifth wheel in this truck, I'm not pushing the trolley brake all the way back into the disengaged position. All right, I'm pushing it forward, but I'm assuming that it's spring loaded and it's going to finish the traveling on its own, and it's not doing that. So twice now I haven't pushed it far enough up, and I've left the trolley brake engaged, and then I've tried to take off. Well, I can't take off because the trailer brakes are damn good on this trailer. They will hold the tractor in place. And at one point I killed the tractor, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the hell I was doing wrong. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought something was locked up in the truck itself. I'm checking the drivetrain, I'm checking everything, trying to figure out why it won't move. And then I get in and I'm jacking with stuff, and I don't know, man. I guess I hit the trolley brake and it loosened up and took off, and I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever it was broke loose, it's running now. I never realized that I had hit the trolley brake. Okay, well, I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I was jacking with the fifth wheel, trying to slide the fifth wheel, and I was having a ton of problems getting the fifth wheel to slide. It was locked in place. I couldn't get it to move, and it was just a pain in the ass. Finally, after 20-30 minutes of trying to get the fifth wheel to move, which obviously I need to grease my fifth wheel sliding, and I'm gonna drop the trailer and grease it myself here before long. But anyway, and I was on the phone with a friend of mine while I was doing all this, and man, nothing was working. And I was like, well, maybe if I treat it like I treat the tandems when they're stuck, get the truck moving forward, then hit the trolley brake, maybe it'll break the fifth wheel loose. Well, it worked. It worked. I got the truck moving forward, I hit the trolley brake, it broke the fifth wheel loose, the fifth wheel slid all the way to the back position, which is where I wanted it at, and I was able to lock it in place. Problem is that when I finished, I didn't put the trolley brake all the way back in the disengaged position. I left it partially engaged, and then I go to take off and it won't move. It's doing the same thing again, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what the problem was. And man, I fought it and fought it and fought it and fought it for a good 10 minutes trying to figure out what the problem was, and the whole time it was the damn trolley brake. And so finally Mike, the guy I was on the phone with, he's like, check your trolley brake and make sure that your trolley brake's not completely engaged, and that turned out to be what it was. And as soon as I pushed it all the way up, it let go. Felt like an idiot, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I just didn't know a damn thing, and honestly, I wasn't going to tell anybody all that because it really makes me look stupid. But to be honest with you, it's all part of learning. I don't have a lot of experience in these old trucks, I like the old trucks. I really like them. They're good trucks, I like them. I really want to deck this truck out, and make it a really nice truck. But I don't have a lot of experience in these trucks, man. I got all my experiences in relatively new trucks, 2012, 2013, 2014, trucks, and I've got very limited experience in these old ones. So there's things that I take for granted in the new trucks that you can't take for granted. That shit don't work, and so that's kind of the situation that I'm in right now. So I'm learning though, I'm learning that in the 2014 truck that I ran, I could haul 45,000 pounds. I could start off in third gear, never even never miss a beat, never have an issue. You know, I mean, that thing would start off in third gear all day long and never have a problem. And this truck here can't do that. You know, this truck here, you're running 45,000 pounds, you got to start off in second gear. Third gear won't pull it. You know, you'll kill it. You know, or it'll struggle like hell until you can finally get up, you know, a few miles per hour. So you got to start it off in second gear, you know, and then work your way up. So I've learned that about this truck. I've also learned that you got to pay attention to the pedal. At 72 miles an hour, this thing's running at 1250 RPMs. And so if you're not paying attention, you can very easily get this thing up to 85 miles an hour. I know. I've done it. I didn't mean to do it. Didn't realize I had done it. But I did it because this thing just runs so smooth when it starts hitting that 65 mile an hour range. I can't even shift into 10th gear until I hit 60, 67, 68 miles an hour. And then it's chugging along because the RPMs are down at 1100 RPMs till I get it up to 72, 73 miles an hour. 72, somewhere between 72 and 75, it runs right at about 1250. At 75, it's about 1300 RPMs, and that's where I've been running it. Now I don't know what my fuel mileage is going to look like yet. I'll be figuring that out here pretty soon. I've got the numbers, you know, and I've looked at what I've done. So, you know, and once I get this run to Chicago and you know, I get it under my belt, then I'll look at what fuel I used at that point, and we'll see what my fuel mileage is looking like. But you know, at such a low RPM, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to run this truck at yet. If I run it at 60, 65 miles an hour, I'll never use the top gear. I'll never use the 10th gear. The problem is that at 65 miles an hour, it's running almost 1500 RPMs. You know, and so if I run it slower, the RPMs are actually higher than it is if I run it faster. Okay, and I know that may not make sense. It may sound counterintuitive to everybody, but at 60 miles an hour in ninth gear, I'm running at about 1300 RPMs. All right. But if you go up just a couple miles an hour, 62 miles an hour, then I'm running up 1450 RPMs. And at 65 miles an hour, I'm running up at about 15 to 1600 RPMs. But if I were to shift into 7th gear, then at 7th gear at 65 miles an hour, I don't have enough power to pull it. I've got to keep downshifting, right? Because I'm sitting at 1000 RPMs and it's chugging along. There's not enough power to pull it. Slightest hill makes me fucking fall flat on my face. But once I hit that 70 mile an hour mark, my RPMs are up about 1200, 1250 RPMs, and it's got good pulling power. So, you know, I don't know. You know, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, this truck, you know, I think it can run 75 miles an hour and still get decent fuel mileage. I could be wrong. You know, I don't know enough about it yet to know. But anyway, that's my update. You know, that's where I'm at. I'm sitting in Houston right now, specifically in Pearland at the 288 truck stop, and I just had dinner with my mom. Ate at Razoo's, and I had the catfish shrimp basket, which isn't the best thing I could have ate, but that's what I ate because that's what I like, you know. And you know, I've had some, you know, the blown tire, this trailer deal. They're problems, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of it, you know. And I'm not, you know, I'm not worried about it. It's my update, man. Y'all take care. I hope that these videos that I'm doing, you know, I'm going to let y'all know the problems that I'm having. I'm going to let y'all know the successes that I'm having. I ain't going to specifically state numbers, like, you know, I'm not going to tell you what this load's paying. Just know that it's paying pretty good. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm making, every week. I'm just gonna, if it's a bad week, I'll tell you it's a bad week. If it's been a good week, I'll tell you it's been a good week. If it's been a great week, I'll tell you it's been a great week. Okay. So you just know that and this is pretty much public information, I guess. I'm sure that they'll tell anybody that asks. They have kind of a minimum standard up here at this company. They want each truck to be making or to be grossing at least $5,000 a week. Okay, so $5,000 a week is a acceptable week. Okay, a bad week would be anything under that. A really bad week would be about half that. A good week would be more than that, and a really good week would be, considerably more than that. So, we'll see what it does. We'll see where we're at. Anyway, we're running, 26 minutes on this video. So let me go ahead and cut this shit off, get up out of here. Y'all take care. I am going to get some sleep because I'm going to leave out of here in the morning. All right, y'all take care, man. Peace out.